Hey, it's Greg. I wanted to say hey and start my live stream. So, as promised, ladies, every Monday I'm going to do about a 15 minutes, a half hour live stream talking about the topics that you have voted for on the Friday. So, every Friday we do a little bit of a vote, and I'm just making sure it's live. Yes, we do a vote on what you guys want to understand and what you want to know that's going to help you get results. Okay. I don't like to spend a lot of time, BSing you. This will be science-based, fact-based, and it'll be stuff that you really want to know. And I'm just gonna have to pause this for a second so I can shut my door and make sure my studio is nice and soundproof. Cool. So I know there were some ladies who said they wanted to be live on this. So I'm just gonna tag them in, and then we shall get this show on the road. Alrighty. So if you're new to my live streams, don't be shy. Come say hello and all that stuff. All right. Let me just get these ladies on who wanted to be on. Cool. All right. Who's that? Laura. Hey, Laura. How are you? Are you good? Just let me know you can hear me, by the way, because I just want to make sure and test everything's working before I dive in into this live stream. So, yeah. Right. So, Laura, just let me know you can hear me. Hit the heart button, and then I'm going to start talking. If these ladies are late, they're late. That's their problem. I was going to get going. All right. So, the question that was asked the other day was, you want to know. Awesome. I'm awesome, Laura. I'm great. I'm all excited to do this. So the question that I posted on Friday in this group was, what's the best exercise to lose body fat? To use belly fat? Yeah, doesn't matter. Belly fat doesn't matter. And every time I post that question, people go, yeah, I want to know what the best exercise is to lose belly fat. So I'm going to give you a story about a client that hopefully will make sense to you. And I'm going to tell you at the end the kind of 3 or 4 things you probably need to do to actually get results. Okay. So does that make sense? Just let me know. This is what you want to know. And I'm going to rock on. I'm going to get this show on the road. So, alrighty. Done. Cool. All right. So belly fat, it seems to be this big issue for a lot of ladies. A lot of ladies are like sitting there going, oh, my belly just looks really big. And I want to get it slimmer. I want to look toned. I want to feel good. Right. And I imagine that's the big thing that you all want to know. Right. And it's like, what do you have to do that? Okay. So you see all these ladies on like Instagram or whatever, and you're like, what do I need to do to get a stomach like that? Yeah. And here's the thing you need to know first of all. Okay, so the fat on your belly, okay, is what we call visceral fat. Okay, so what that means is it's fat that is hanging around organs and under the skin. Okay, this is where that fat is just being stored. Okay, so that storage is so that you don't starve to death if we have to go into lockdown and we're not allowed to go shopping. Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, so it's visceral fat. It's got the skin here, and it's just underneath there, and it's just there, and it's just energy collected so that you can survive. Okay, so it's a survival mechanism, nothing more, nothing less. Now, here's the big issue: some ladies will store fat in their stomach, some will be in their hips, some will be in their thighs. All right, and I get all sorts of ladies come to me like, Greg, I really just need to get this belly fat off. So I'm gonna just give you a story about a client, and it will make sense once I explain it all. Okay. So I'm gonna use the example of a client I've got called Sarah. So Sarah came to me in January and said, hey Greg, I've been following your stuff for a long time, seen the awesome results you get with clients, but I really just want to lose my belly. Like everywhere else feels okay, but I just want to lose my belly. Okay. Now, Sarah already, before she came to me, was already running like 5K runs, 6K runs, all that kind of crazy stuff. Say hi if you're joining me live. She used to do that, 5K, 6K. She was already in the gym doing workouts, not training, workouts. And she was already doing like yoga. So she was always actually exercising like 5 or 6 times a week. Okay. So here's a first big mistake that most people make. Okay. Most people make this mistake. Most ladies over exercise. Okay. So what you try and do is you go, right, I want to lose this belly. So I'm going to do tons and tons of exercise to lose weight. The problem being is that often when you exercise more, you get hungrier. Okay. So if you don't know what your energy needs are and you're trying to exercise more, your appetite's going to go like that. Okay. So you're working out more, you're smashing in the gym, you get doing all the HIIT workouts and the rest of it. And your body's just going, yeah, I want cake now. Feed me. So I can guarantee that a lot of you have done this already where you're like, I'm going to work out 5-6 times a week, but then you just get really, really hungry. Okay. So that's a really big challenge. So that was problem number 1. Okay. Number 2 was there was no plan. There was no training plan. It was like workouts were kind of just plucked out of thin air. They weren't supporting her running because she wanted to also run faster. She just messaged me, actually said she's got a 5K personal best. Whoop, whoop. So what happened was that she's got no plan, probably over exercising. Okay. And here's the big bit, because I'm going to say this till the cows come home. Diet for weight, exercise for shape. Diet for weight, exercise for shape. And if you listen to my podcast, you'll see this and you'll hear me talk about this so many times, right? Because what most people think is that there's some magic exercise that's going to help you lose all the belly fat in the world. And I just have to say, unfortunately, it's not true. Okay. Where the challenge is for everybody, if you want to lose belly fat, you've got to sort that diet out. It's a real simple thing that people just don't want to listen to, believe. It's like we're looking for this big secret. Oh, if I want to lose belly fat, then I've really got to exercise loads to do it. And that's not the thing. So if you don't know how much food you need to do 2 things: A, keep you full, keep you energized, keep you feeling awesome. But by the same token, if you don't know how to not eat too little food so that then you're like starving all the time and all you want to do and eat is eat, then you're going to have problems, right? So when it comes to your nutrition to lose belly fat, and just so you know, Sarah's lost like 5 or 6 inches off her tummy. Like her abs are starting to show now. She's using the metabolic protocol that I use with all of my clients. So they all have their own metabolic blueprint of nutrition to help them understand how much to eat, when, and of which different macronutrients. Okay, so macronutrients, your proteins, fats, carbs, alcohol even. So individually, every client that comes to me has their own metabolic blueprint, which shows them exactly how to eat and what to eat and in what proportions, because everyone's different, right? And if you're watching this, say hi. If you're live, if you're new, every one of you is different, okay? Every one of you has your own metabolism, your own neat way of living, your own energy needs, right? So the problem is for a lot of ladies, it's all this kind of cookie cutter stuff that I see. It's like, oh, we're all going to try and do the same nutrition as my friend down the road. I think that's Joe watching. Hey, Joe. So one of the big things that you will have to do is understand that each one of you is already very different. Okay, so I wouldn't give my metabolic blueprint plan for me, for example, to, I don't know, Joe. She's watching, so I wouldn't give that to Joe, because Joe is very different to me. What my exercise needs are, what my calorie needs are, even down to the different genders, is all very different. Okay, so the thing is that you need to understand, and this is why you get an expert, right? Is whenever my clients come to work with me, I do a lifestyle questionnaire to understand how much do they need. Yeah, that's probably the big thing where everyone goes wrong. It's like you don't even know how much you need to eat, right? Because you want to keep the metabolism ticking over. Okay, what you don't want is what we call metabolic adaptation. That's where your metabolism down regulates and tries to slow your fat loss down because you're not eating enough. Yeah. So when everyone's looking for this best exercise to lose weight, I just look and just like, no, nope. There is no exercise that helps you magically lose weight. Okay. Now I'm going to talk training very quickly. So when I put together Sarah's training plan, the way that it works is again based on when she can train. So that's for her, she's training like 2 days a week. Right. So I know I need to be able to hit most of the muscle groups in her body across 2 training sessions to help put on some lean muscle tissue, i.e. to get toned, and then enough reps and sets to really get her body into a what we call an anabolic state, right? So that the training is hard enough, but also doesn't make her work so hard that she then goes home and sits on the sofa because she can't move the next day, right? So if you're training too hard, hey, not sure who that is, so I can't see everybody. Hey, Sarah, if you're training too hard, the likelihood the next day you're going to be on the sofa just going, oh, I can't train no more. Okay. And a big proportion of your energy that you need every day is used up in what we call NEAT. Okay. So that's walking around doing stuff. Walk. Okay. So you can't just have like one exercise for belly fat. No, there's no such thing. What you need is a structured training program that hits every muscle group, that makes the muscles work hard enough so that they're challenged to grow and repair, because that uses energy. Okay. But you need to understand the right sets and reps to be able to get that. And it's funny, actually, I'm actually about to do a training program, a training session with my clients on how exactly and what levels they will train at to get those results. Okay. So ladies, have you got any questions for me, by the way, before I start? Before I carry on, because I know I like to talk a lot. So if you've got any questions, I know some of you are joined late, but if you've got questions about what to do to lose belly fat, what you need to do to actually get the body changing, because that's the big thing, right? Is that so many people do lots of training plans and nutrition plans and nothing changes. And that must get really frustrating, right? So here's the other thing, the third piece of the puzzle. If you're not assessing, you're guessing. All right. So with all of my clients, we do not guess anything. We track certain things in how they're training, how their nutrition is, stress and sleep, to make sure the body stays in that fat burning state. Because most people don't track stuff. They just kind of go on some scale weight. Well, that doesn't tell me the whole picture of what's going on. Does that make sense, ladies? I know there's 2 of you watching. Let me know if I'm making sense. Oh, stretch. I've got some DOMs from climbing the other day. So any questions so far? So just to recap, a couple of things. If the goal is to lose belly fat, you need like a 3-pronged approach. Okay. You need the right nutrition. You need to understand how your nutrition for you as an individual is going to be used to make your own individual nutrition plan. Okay. And on this cookie cutter, oh, well, Sharon did this one and I did this one. No, you're different. So you need to make sure that you've got something that's specific for you. Number 1. Number 2, there are no best exercises to lose belly fat. Okay. It's a myth. I really want you to all give this up now. However, what you'd have is a proper training program with what we call compound exercises that involve big muscle groups that are going to use the most energy, but also cause the most hormonal effect to ensure that your body responds to the training you've done, right? Because without the hormonal effect, then you're not pushing your training hard enough. But you don't want to push too hard to a point where you're just broken the next day. So finding the sweet spot in your training plan to make sure that you get all the muscles and you work hard enough, but not too hard. Okay. Number 3, well, if you're just going on scale weight, then how do you know your body's actually changing? So you need to look at not just scale weight. You've got to look at sleep. You've got to look at stress. You've got to look at energy overall. Okay. To ensure that things are moving in the right direction, that the body stays in a state of a higher metabolism, because as soon as people start to sleep less, then metabolism goes down. As soon as you try to eat too little, like, oh, little tiny bit portions, again, the body will start to adapt and go, well, let's slow everything down. And that's where people get stressed with their body not changing. And those are pretty much the main steps to shrinking belly fat. Like, ladies, I'm not going to tell you any BS. I'm not going to lie to you about what I think needs to happen in terms of how to change your body. But, you know, and I really want you to understand that all these people that tell you there's a specific exercise for body fat are talking rubbish. Okay. Are there any questions, ladies? You got me. So you might as well use me while you got me. So Sarah says, yes, that makes sense. Cool. Hey, Joe. Are there any questions? Actually, ladies, would you like to see a picture of how Sarah's looking now? Would you like to see that? Just comment yes, and I'll show you how Sarah has changed and transformed over the last, 6 months or so of working with me. Yeah. So if you want me to share a picture of how Sarah's looking now with the changes that I've just talked about, comment yes, and I'll share her progress with you. Yes, cool. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to do some internet jiggery pokery. Woo, there we go. Okay, hold on, ladies. You've got to bear with me. Ladies, are there any questions you want me to... Whoops. Bit of a bit of tech. Ladies, are there any questions you want me to... What have you got about what I've just spoken about that you want me to answer, etc.? Any other questions, ladies? So I'm back. Right, let me just share my screen. Let's see how this works. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what Sarah is looking like. Let's see if I can do this. Woo! There we go. So look, that's where she started. As you can see, there's like fat there. There's, yeah. And now look, we're starting to get to the stage where abs are. Look, everything is slimmed down nicely. Yeah. Does that make sense? But that's through proper training, her own metabolic blueprint, and the right rest recuperation strategies. Did you all see that, people? Tell me if you saw that. Can't see it. All right, tell you what I'm gonna do. Don't know why it wouldn't work. I'm gonna share it in the group, and then you can see the awesomeness that Sarah has done. Here's a question. Oh well, I don't know why it wouldn't work. Here's a question, ladies. What's your biggest frustration with trying to lose belly fat? Hit me with this question. So I don't know why it wouldn't work, ladies. Hey, what's your biggest question about losing belly fat? Hit me with it. Why you got me? Because hey, I've got my clients in a bit. So if there's no other questions, then I think we've already killed it, and I'll share too much of it. What do you mean by too much of it, Sarah? What do you mean by too much of it? Well, here's a question I'll ask you, ladies. Like, if you've lived a certain way for like 10, 20, 30 years, okay, cool, lots of weight. Well, here's the thing, to whoever just put that, I didn't see, can't see who put that. Here's the thing. If you've walked into the woods far enough, you have to walk back out, okay? A lot of people got lots of belly fat. Well, Sarah, here's a question. I guess is the honest question. Like, do you really want to change it? Because if you don't, then you're always going to stay where you are, and you can always be complaining about it. And that's just me just being honest. Like, I won't BS you. I won't, stroke your ego too much. But you got to be willing to change what's happening. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. But yeah, it's going to take patience. Like if you've been doing it a while, 16 pounds down, well, that's awesome. Then here's the thing, just keep going. But you got to accept that if you've lived a certain way for how many years, it might take a little bit of time to get back out the other side. And that's just the honest truth. Yeah. You're going to have to walk out of the woods enough to get the result you want. I'm gonna disagree actually with the slower the better thing. I'm actually gonna call BS on that. Okay, let me explain. Right, so for years and years, everyone's done this thing of, well, if you lose weight really, really slowly, then it's more likely to stay off. Actually, that is BS, because there was a study done, and they got two groups of people, and the people that had the faster results stayed more motivated. So let's be honest, ladies, right? If you're sat there and you're like, would I rather lose weight fairly fast, or would I lose weight slowly? I think most of you would say I'd want to lose weight fast, right? Okay. So I think, yeah, well, I guess the issue is actually, it was Lena. The issue is for most people is they want to lose it fast. Yeah, exactly. I think the issue is for most people is the strategy they use, which is the issue, not necessarily the pace of how you do it, right? So if you go on some really silly diet like the broccoli and cabbage diet, well, then yeah, that's never going to be sustainable. Of course not. But most people would rather lose it a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Yeah, everyone wants quick results, but not everyone's willing to do the work to get the quick results. See, here's the problem, ladies. Here's a real big thing about people, right? We are weird creatures. People will sit there and go, oh, I really want to do this, but they aren't always willing to do the work or invest in themselves to go and get the result. Simple as that. Like for me, for example, I wanted to change how I do all my nutrition and my programs and how I work with people, right? Because, and I'm just going to be honest with people, the way of doing one-to-one in-person training just wasn't working for me, okay? Or groups and boot camps, right? So I found someone who could help me change it. I invested some money, got the work done. Simple. I guess it's that deciding what you got to do. Yeah, I think you're right, Lena. You got to be mentally ready to do it. You got to be mentally ready to make the change. Okay. And that's why I'm going to reopen my Revolution program. So I'm just doing the work to change it and make it even better. And Lena will attest, Lena lost something like 28 pounds on my Revolution program before, but I'm upgrading it now. I'm going to make it even better than what it was. But I'm going to really help some ladies this in, next year, just really, really, really smash it, really change their lives. Because ladies, it's not about losing belly fat. That's not the issue. The issue is that you want to feel confident in your clothes. You want to feel confident, with whatever you wear. You want to get in a shower and feel like, yeah, I look and feel good. The belly fat is the symptom. But ultimately, you got to decide that you want to change the mindset that goes with what you do every day. You've got to change the way you look at yourself. Okay. So my Revolution program is going to be really factored around the mindset piece of the whole body transformation piece. So it's not going to be jumping up and down, doing burpees, bore off. But we're going to really focus on the mindset piece. So yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, it's only for the right person. Simple as that. Right, ladies, are there any other questions you want me to answer on around training, the nutrition side, what you need to really do to actually get rid of the belly fat and get it off for good. If there's no other questions, then I will head off, have a little bit of a chill before my clients do their awesome stuff. Any other questions? I'm going to do like a countdown thing, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. If you got a question, type it up now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies. I think that's it. So we've just crushed it. The best exercise to lose belly fat. There is no best exercise to lose belly fat. Yeah. You've really got to look at the 3 big areas first. Nutrition. Get your own metabolic blueprint that shows you exactly what you need to consume of all the different macronutrients. 2, a structured training program that hits every muscle group in the right way so that you're not decimated, but also you actually adapt properly. And then 3, you need to be able to assess all of this information that you're doing and understand what the next step is, because sometimes you follow a plan and you need to change stuff because of how things are working. All right. So I'm off ski. Let me know if you watch this back on the replay, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.